Hi, my name is Godhuli. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I see N. Noreen. Hi, everyone. We'll get started in a few moments. We've still about 3 minutes to go, and I'll give it a minute or two for folks to join in. Thank you so much for joining, and let me know if you have any questions through the chat box. Thank you so much. We'll start this in a few minutes. Hi, Mehul. Hi, everybody. Mehul, thanks for getting us started. Hi to you since you have sent hello our way as well. So let's get started. Thank you for joining this lightning lesson on AI PM job search. My name is obviously Godhuli Chatterjee. A little bit of introduction from my side. I have been a product manager slash TPM for about 18 years now. 9 years, 3 months at Amazon. Before that, 3 years at Microsoft, 3 years at Google. And along these 18 years, I think I have a balance of both B2B and B2C. So on B2B side, I owned BitLocker V10, for example. I led a product team of four for a B2B product that is obviously quite a mature product. So I joined when I was BitLocker was already on V10. And On B2C side, I launched products like Amazon Try Before You Buy button. I don't know if any of you guys have used the Amazon Try Before You Buy button. It was sunsetted last year after 10 years of being in service. So I consider myself a balanced product manager. And a balanced product manager who has done both B2B and B2C, as well as very greenfield 0 to 1 product to very mature products. So, to that extent, why do I feel like I have the audacity to come to you guys and share information regarding AIPM job search? It's not because in any vertical I consider myself a subject matter expert other than hiring and career growth. So in Google, I was a senior product manager for people technology. After that, at Microsoft, I hired as a hiring manager. And at Amazon, not only I have raised teams from scratch, multiple teams, but I've also been a bar raiser for 8 years. So with that being said, this year in 2026, the most common question that I get is within the vast spectrum of AI, which part of AI should we focus on? Given the fact that AI has only been here for 2 to 3 years, what do I write in my resume? What am I really doing? What I'm really doing is prototyping and modeling. But how do I translate that into a resume that improves discoverability? Do I, given the fact that I'm hearing that product management will go away altogether or program management is going away altogether, how to become an AI operator? Should I become an AI operator? Should I transition to product? Should I transition to TPM? Which direction to go in career has become a question and concern in and of itself. So that is what I am going to share with you in today's session. If there are any questions, you can put it in the chat. I'll try my level best to look at the chat from time to time. Though, to be honest, it's going to be a little difficult. So be a little patient with me. But since we haven't started yet, I'm still giving folks time to join. 450 people have signed up, so I'll give a moment for folks to join. And while we are doing that, if there are any questions, do let me know. I did see a question, I think, from Mohales. Mohales, do you want to expand your question? For now, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know what your question is.
Yes. Generally speaking, I work in product adjacent role. I'm a founder and also a consultant, and I build internal tools, products for clients, etc. But I don't have the official title of product management. I
Mhm.
am in a cohort right now for AIPM. So learning that. So yeah, that's just my general question. If this talk is more talking about or to people who already been PMs, or people who are transitioning to PM or trying to transition to AIPM as well.
Absolutely. Transition is what I deal with. And I'm curious if you're with Product School or Exponent or General Assembly, those are the big names. But I mostly deal with transition, be it transition of function, transition of horizontal growth, transition from company to company. But my expertise lies in mid-career professionals who are transitioning. So you're at the right place.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. So to that extent, this talk will focus on three aspects of job search. And don't worry, I'm going to share my screen and do the deck and PowerPoint like I'm supposed to, so don't worry about that. Not only will I send the deck and the recording, but there is a supplementary document that I'll send as well. So you guys don't need to take any notes. Everything that I'm talking about, I'll send you as a PDF format attachment as well. So for this next 30 minutes, you can focus on me and what we are discussing in this session. You will get all the supplementary materials. And for folks like Mohales who are trying to decide, and this is one of the most frequent questions that I get, transitioning and how to transition and why to transition. I actually have a vibe coded tool. I actually have 18 vibe coded tools. But one of the tools is this adjudication. Should I transition away from product management? Should I transition into product management? So I've created a tool based on my experience. So even though it is an AI executed tools, the rules are set by me and by my experience. So I'd share a link for that tool as well to adjudicate and answer the exact question that you asked, Mohalis. With that being said, let me start sharing my screen and do the thing that is done in lightning lessons. All right. Mid-career AI PM job search. Guys, can you see my screen? Can somebody help me out?
We can see it.
Beautiful, Brian. Thank you. All right. Mid-career AIPM job search. The reason I put the mid-career tag is my previous lightning lesson. If you guys have already access to it, the same one I added on YouTube as well. But it is focused on just job search, and every job search has three areas where I focus in my help. One is identity. Second is discoverability. Third is interview prep. And so this conversation will also go into exactly those three pillars: identity, discoverability, and interview prep. But mid-career professionals have a level of nuance and need, which me, in my myopic view, I feel more complex than the other ends of the spectrum. If you're just starting off, sure, it's difficult. I'm not saying that it's not challenging to start off in our industry in today's day and age, but because there is lack of options, the lack of complexity is also less. And if you've gotten to a place that you're a senior exec, your path is sort of charted through your network. Us mid-career professionals are not privy to either of those simplicities, for good or bad. It may not be good, may not be bad, but the complexity is a higher level for a few specific reasons. Our networks may not be hiring, and to that extent, if we start thinking about how we can get a job when everybody is saying without referrals, I can't get a job. How do I do that? That's what discoverability focuses on. And so I'll go through each of these pillars from the eye of both TPM, PM, but also the AI operator tag that everybody is wondering about these days, and LinkedIn is completely filling our heads with. So we talked a little bit about the beginner and for mid-careers, the scope, the balance of scope and the complexity is a difficult balance to strike. So we will talk about that as well. And interviewing is a lot of times challenging in today's day and age because there are so many layoffs. There was a number quoted in a well-funded research that by the end of this year, there will be nearly 250,000 layoffs, and within the next 3 years, 5 million layoffs. So, in this spectrum, when a recruiter comes and says, your interview is tomorrow, your interview is tomorrow. We are no longer in 2020, 2021, where we can go back and say, no, I need 7 days to prep. We don't have that luxury anymore. So the interview prep, the last portion of it, is also very important. Where does PMTPM focus on in terms of interview prep, even before you start your job search? So three distinct tracks: product manager, technical program manager, and AI operator. Just for a moment, because I'm not getting a chance to get to know all 30 odd folks that have joined. Some of you may have questions, what are these? Because these are questions that I get in my regular class in some of the other platforms that I teach. So it's quite simplistic. There is no absolute definition of it that every company follows. It's Every company have their own tweaks and meanings to the designations TPM, product manager, program manager. But think of it as business, technology, and the bridge between business and technology. So the bridge between business and technology is where TPM sits. And if your designation today is, or your ideal designation tomorrow is product manager or program manager only, then you are on the business strategy of it. You're owning the business strategy. and TPMs are the bridge between business strategy and technology. And to that extent, every company, Oracle may be hiring TPMs who are far closer, whose execution and day-to-day life may be far closer to the technology side of things. They're architecting, creating system design diagrams, whereas Amazon may be hiring TPMs whose day to day is executing scrum planning and doing retrospectives and grooming and goal tracking and prioritization, things like that. So it can be anywhere in the spectrum. And why am I spending this much time talking about TPMs? Is it's a matter of fact that TPM hiring is the highest right now. That doesn't mean there are no product manager roles. There are quite a few product managers as well, certainly more than functions like QA and program managers. But TPMs in our zeitgeist today translate well into AI operators. AI operators own system behavior, AI system behaviors. So, to that extent, the stories that you will own and the stories that will be a part of your identity is you are judged on whether you have handled or at least have very in-depth knowledge of eval pipelines, drift and hallucination incidents, and to that extent, just knowing what hallucination is and reading up about the post about hallucination is not enough. Yesterday in my class, somebody asked the questions, well, which systems have zero hallucination? There is not only any foundational model that has zero hallucination, but hallucinations cannot be erased altogether either. All you can do is bound hallucinations. And those are the stories that is the depth of real life understanding you need to have before you're going to that interview table, even in the discoverability phase of recruiter conversations. So as I just mentioned, this guide is organized in three pillars. As in most of my job search lightning lessons are organized in three pillars: identity, discoverability, and interview readiness across the verticals of product program managers, TPMs being the bridge between technology and business strategy, and AI operators. So the first thing that we will discuss is identity. What do I mean by identity? In its simplest form, identity is your resume and your LinkedIn profile. Identity for folks who are just joining the industry at Amazon, in Amazon terms, we will call them L3, L4s. For them, the execution is the most important thing that should come out in the resume. Bias for action, being able to deliver in speed. But that's not true for mid-career professional. Mid-career professional resumes should tell a story not only vertically but horizontally as well. And what do I mean by that? I always teach people that resumes are all about telling a story and quantifying it. There is only two things in a resume: telling a story and quantifying it. If you are saying, I worked on a product that delivered customer impact for 30 different teams within our internal organization, and I worked on Angular JS, and I own product roadmap, that is not telling a story. Think of it from a hiring manager standpoint. A hiring manager who is just now had a fight with their own manager, who cannot figure out what their goal improvement is going to be next month. They are coming then and looking at the piece of paper that is your resume. They cannot connect it to a story. They cannot connect it to a real world problem, because their problem may be in airlines. Their problem may be in concessions charter. Their problems may be in the legal or finance product domain. And when you're writing something high level, like I built a product you're very proud of, the 30 internal teams have utilized it, it's not something that is connecting with them. If, on the other hand, you write a story that says, I built a DevOps product where 30 teams utilized it, including the oncology research department. Now you're making it real for the reader, any reader. Every reader is a flesh and blood human being. For every reader, the oncology research is going to stay with them. You don't have to give a laundry list of all 30 teams that utilized it. Give one or two highlights. Make your story that make sense to any reader who is not a part of your industry, and not only talk about from AngularJS to the customer segment product metric. These are internal aspects of your world, your ecosystem. The real story is what is the final impact? How many external end user customers, even if you're in a B2B environment, building product for 200 of your partners, each of those partners must have 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, a million end user customers. So make it real for the reader. What is the total impact? The total impact in terms of end users or total impact in terms of revenue. The world of building softwares hasn't miraculously changed just because AI has come into the picture. The hiring manager's end goal, North Star are still the same. The hiring manager's North Star is not making the hallucination rate go from 6% to 3%. The hiring manager's end goal is not improving the precision metrics and KPIs for your AI system. The SVP doesn't care about that at all. The SVP still cares about the exact same things that they have cared about for decades now. They care about are a large number of users coming and starting to use it? Are they staying long enough? Are they monetizing with us? And are they happy with us? So, your end goal, your metrics that are going in the resume, if they are saying your top bullet point very proudly is saying, I've improved the precision by this percent, or I've bounded the hallucination, decreased it by this percent, that is not an end goal. End goal continues to remain average revenue per user, average revenue per paid user, daily active users, CTR rates, CSAT, NPS. The end goals of your story, those KPIs still remain the same. So to that extent, those are the things that needs to come up in your resume, which doesn't mean that I am negating the need for the ATS system to recognize your resume. You still need to have a technical skills section. Still need to have one or two stories that talks about context engineering and evals and precision. On your technical skills section, you need to put those buzzwords regarding RAG and Codex that you have used, or Claude that you have used for whiteboarding. But the main story bullet points should still be story with quantification. That's what I mean by horizontal storytelling. But a mid-career resume also needs to tell a vertical story. It should start with stories where you delivered and showed bias for action. It should go into more ideating and thinking big. And by the end of your resume, your top portion of what you have been owning most recently should be thinking about the bigger picture and envisioning how to utilize AI to grow your customer segments, how you are utilizing AI to improve the speed to production. Those are the stories of vision and research and investigation that should take up real estate on top of your resume. So that's about identity. Next, we come to discoverability. What is discoverability? Discoverability is the age-old question. How do I get recruiters or hiring managers to reach out to me? We used to live in a world where there were some magic algorithmic formulas that will make recruiters flock to our LinkedIn profiles. For every mentor that are telling you that they will teach you those magic formulas, here is a 20-step ways that recruiters will come to you. You don't have to go to recruiters. They are lying to you. There is it's not a trend. It's not going to go away. Recruiters and hiring managers will no longer. There is no magic formula. There is no set of magical buzzwords that you can put on your LinkedIn profile that will make the algorithm in a way that recruiters come to your profile. Forever, the landscape has shifted where we are able to make perfect resumes in 90 seconds. We give our resume and job description to ChatGPT or Gemini will churn out a perfect resume, which means that for every job, whether there is a perfect person behind or not, perfect connection with the job or not, there are 7,000 resumes that are being submitted. So there is no way that you are again ever going to just build something and sit there, build and they will come. That for mid-career professionals is gone. So, cold call reach outs, and I also do not recommend waiting for your friend to become a hiring manager and for them to open up a position that you will apply to. That is not a feasible strategy either. You have to create your own referrals. And how do you create your own referrals? Cold call reach outs is one of the methods that I say. Now, depending on which part of your career you are in, if you are a beginner, I suggest a volume. And it breaks my heart to suggest volumes because 3 years back, if you met me, I would strongly say that spraying and praying doesn't work. But in today's day and age, volume is something that you have to take into consideration because the chaos and the volume has increased. But for a mid career professional, you need to adjudicate just a little bit. You do need to go and check former colleagues that you may not have worked with in the past 8 years, but used to work very closely. People who have changed companies, along with the cold call reach out strategies that I talk about. What do I mean by cold call strategy? Um, and I know many of you are cringing because I'm cringing just saying it. But the reason I am sharing this is because this actually works. I have multiple candidates who haven't had any interviews for 8 months. They've been laid off 8 months back, who utilized cold call strategy, and now they have multiple interviews lined up. So cold calling essentially is after you complete an application, after you submit, hit the submit button on the application, take the name of the company. Say, for example, you just submitted for a TPM role at Netflix. Take the name of the company, add director or group product manager, the hiring layer of the companies. VPs and SVPs do not care about hiring. Below that, it will not be conducive. So the layer of the company that do care about hiring group product managers and directors, you will never know who the exact hiring manager is, other than the one-off scenario where LinkedIn is telling you who the hiring manager is. Usually doesn't happen, but there is a layer in every company that cares about hiring, that cares about that growth. So reach out to a couple of people in that company. A lot of times you will face silence, but every once in a while, somebody with the right attitude and a necessity, the fire in the belly towards hiring within that company, they will forward your resume to the right place. They will interact with you, ask you one or two quick questions, and they will forward your resume. So this cold call approach does work. But also for mid-career professionals, there are absolute must-haves that has become a part of our zeitgeist that didn't used to be the case 3 to 4 years back. So being active in GitHub shows your technical chops. If you're currently still employed, do make it a point to raise your hand for conference talks. Even if you are not employed or if your role is not conducive to conference talks, your manager is never going to approve you for those. There are ways. Garima, I do see your hand. I'm going to complete this and come to questions, I promise you. And for folks who doesn't have an easy access to doing presentations, you can still become a part of communities where it is actually relatively easy to do these things. For example, I don't know how many of you know, but IEEE is not only for researchers and people who are in academia. You can become a part of IEEE community and contribute. And I have seen more than one person be invited to give a talk, give a quick lecture, do workshops. You just have to do the reach outs. There is no way that you can circumvent or sidestep the reach out, the cold call portion of this. I didn't used to do mentoring and teaching last year in a formal way. But when I started reaching out too, now I have done workshops for City of Detroit, for Government of Canada, and I'm now being invited to talk in USC as well. but it does start with talking to people that you don't know very well today. So these kind of things, having a GitHub, having a portfolio, having a wipe coded software tool, for example, are becoming more and more important to your discoverability as you are adding that to your answers to your LinkedIn application, to your resume. You are now buying credibility. So these are things that are important, and definitely, I think all of you guys know that it is recommended that if you're a part of Discord channels, if you're a part of Slack channels, for that matter, LinkedIn and Facebook hubs and communities for technology, meetup communities, there is a chance that somebody in that community or somebody in that network is hiring. So be vocal in your presence and be vocal about your identity in those specific channels. So activating that is important. The last part that I will go through is interview readiness. In terms of these three areas, product management, TPM, and AI, there are three areas that you need to prepare. I will recommend even before you start your search, or at least in the early stages of your search. So the three areas that you need to have three folders on. One is a behavioral folder, that is a must have. This behavioral folder, even if you are a software engineering manager, if you're a marketing manager, if you're a content producer, you need to have that behavioral folder. Within that behavioral folder, there are 6 areas where you need to have answers. What is the behavioral interview round? It is a round to test the depth and ownership and complexity that you have experienced in your career so far. It is about your history. So there are 6 areas of your history that you need to prepare stories for. The 6 areas of history that you need to prepare for are success stories, stories where you have gone above and beyond for your customer, above and beyond for the goal that you had set. Success stories. Failure stories. You couldn't meet a deadline. You did meet a deadline but couldn't meet a KPI. Failure stories. The third is ambiguity. You needed to make a decision where data was not entirely available. You needed to make a decision when your management chain couldn't make a decision or were not available. Ambiguity related stories. Speed. How did you execute if it was a very lean team and one person left the company 3 weeks before the launch? Speed related execution and deadline related stories. And then innovation, that is where AI comes into play. Stories regarding what is the biggest project or most innovative project that you have worked on. And the last and the most interesting forever in our industry is conflict related stories. Tell me about a time when you had conflict with your external customer. Tell me about a time when you didn't agree with something that your manager said. Tell me about a time when you had conflict with your legal team, your dev team, your tech team, whatever it may be. So this is where you need to be very mindful, have more than 2, 3 stories within the conflict domain. So that's the behavioral preparation. The next part of the preparation, call it product sense, call it program management. It's essentially business strategy. So business strategy looks different from AI to traditional systems. And by different, I mean AI encompasses everything that traditional systems have, plus plus. Business strategy preparation is I have a Substack post that lists 20 common companies or common areas where questions are coming. Tell me about how you would build this product. How would you build Spotify? How would you build Facebook today? How would you build Amazon today? How would you build PayPal today? So there are 20 names that I have collated in my experience. You need to write down for each of those 20 areas. And I apologize, there is no shortcut. 20 is the shortest cut that I can give you. For each of these stories, you need to write 4 aspects. You need to write the goal of the product, what is the North Star KPI, what you want to maximize. So within the goal, there are also supporting metric. That is where your precision, your, TTFT, time to first token, all of those metrics come into play, and guardrail metrics. So you set a goal. We are going to maximize retention, or we're going to maximize adoption. So goal is something that you need to write first for each of those 20 companies that are listed in my Substack. The next you want to talk write about a customer segment. Which customer segments of the many customer segments available to you maximizes the goal that you have set for yourself? Pick one or two. That is where you show yourself as a business strategist. That you had multiple customer segments. You're prioritizing one over the other. Within each customer segment, you will have many pain points. In a 45-minute interview, you cannot talk about all pain point or solve for all pain points. So choose one or two pain point within your chosen customer segment that maximizes your goal. And finally, for your chosen pain point, what is the solution that you have chosen that optimizes again your goal? These are the 4 areas that you need to write down for the 20 companies or 20 use cases that I have highlighted. And the last area, which honestly, when I joined Amazon back in 2014, this was not an area where questions were asked. And today, these questions are being asked in terms of system design. So system design, you do need to know the basic component. The 6 basic component are the UI layer, the services, the database layer, then the connectivity of it is API, and the 2 other component that you cannot do without is observability and security. That's the traditional system design lens that you need to know and master. Now AI has come into our life. Now you cannot let go of anything. Very little of it is replaced. Just because MCP has come into the picture doesn't mean API has gone away. Your system will now contain both MCP and APIs. It's just added layer of complexity. You're adding AI into a system that already exists. It replaces almost nothing. So you now need to know system design considerations for your orchestration layer, for your LLM layer, for your eval engine, for your decision engine, for how the agent connects with the external stakeholder, whether you're going to have human in the loop or not. So all of those basic components you need to know even before you start your job search, so that when the recruiter comes and tells you that, hey, I really like your profile, would love for you to do an interview within 36 hours, you are not caught off guard. That's all I had to share today. I'm going to stop the screen share and see what questions you guys may have. Garima, did you still have your question? All right. If there are no questions, I'm going to give it one more minute, and
Am I
then
audible?
I can hear you.
Okay, okay, fine. So currently, I'm also searching for a job, and the problem is I am on the career transition form. I can say that because earlier I have 5 year of working experience with working in healthcare AI
Mm-hmm.
company called Siren. So basically, my role was product specialist, but my responsibility was almost aligned to what a business analyst does. So then after when I came to know that my most of my title was different, but I gave the same thing, I did the same thing, means cross functional collaboration, stakeholder communication, and mainly bridging the gap between client and the product team or engineering team. Mostly I worked with, because I was in the product specialist, so I worked with internal or business operational teams and product teams mainly. So the problem is that when I came to know that, I just started working on my building more of business analyst concepts, and then I came to know other like data analytics path. The problem I'm facing that as for Indian base, because the company I worked earlier, that was a US based company, and I was working as a remotely,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a startup company. But
Yeah.
currently the problem is that in India, whether it's a business analyst or product analyst or the goal and like product specialist, they have like the companies are not paying much as they describe.
Mm-hmm.
um, so I always means the earning or salary I was earlier earning is nothing compared to the Indian salary they are giving to me. And currently, I also earlier I did not have the, I was a fresher when I started that job,
Hmm.
but recently I have 5+ years of experience, and recently I'm working with collaborative with continuously working on the AI tools, using AI tools in everything. Like as you said, that building
Garima,
small
I would
and
love to understand the question though. Is it possible? I appreciate the fact that there are salary concerns. I don't
yeah.
think I'm
So
quite well placed to discuss salary. Is there a job search
so
strategy
about
question
the
around here?
just you describe about the product manager, technical product manager, and technical program manager and AI operational. So basically, I want to ask you that someone suggested some, like some platform or maybe some our elder suggest that for a PM, I want to know that product for a product manager, is it necessary to go through enroll for a MBA 2 years degree or something to get a job?
No, it's not. I'm going to keep the answer succinct. No, it's not. You need to know how to tell your story. Right before this session, I was working with somebody who's a product manager. They have a very specific reason that they want to change tracks, and we discussed with them their experience and how it translates to the sales side. So I'm coaching them on how to go into technical account management, CSM, or solution architect. At the end of the day, you are making an impact to a final end customers. And you are owning a part of that entire huge pipeline. It's about telling the story in the right way that positions you correctly. Now, if it was a Kubernetes developer role, would I ask him to go for that role? No, I wouldn't. But there are transferable skills, especially from what you have told me about yourself. No, you shouldn't need to go through an MBA at all. Arzu, I
Okay,
do see your question. Mary, I do see your question. I'll come to it if you stay with me.
all right.
Garima, you don't have to
Yes.
go through an MBA, but you do need
Okay.
to be able to know your own story and translate those stories in your resume and your interview preparation in a way that shows what you and I already know. You and I already know that you have the business skills. Product management is
Mhm.
nothing other than common sense and hard work. I always say if I can do it, everybody can do it. If you have common sense and hard work and you have a certain set of experience, you are well placed to make that transition. But at the end of the day, the job market is hard right now. And then there is a very specific way to get to that place, Garima.
Okay, got it.
All right.
So, do
Um,
we need to do any specific certification to got the skills or something? Just as you said that we need to be like express our stories in a way that could convey our whatever the recruiter that yes, we are eligible for this job. Is it true?
so there are ways like you can self-serve or you can work with there are very many. Maven is one such platform. I
Right.
think Mohalis were talking about it. He is going through another different platform. There are very many mentors like myself who give support individually. So you don't need to drop a $250,000 to a USC to get an MBA. But if you do need support, there are far, far cheaper options for you to do that.
Got it.
All right. Mary, your question is, Mary, if you're still here, feel free to unmute yourself. Your question is, do managers more on the business side have to go through products and system design interview rounds? Well, the formal answer to your question is no, Mary. But in reality, people are having to go through. Like, if you look at the formal component of it for Facebook, probably not. But many companies, they are startups and they can ask any question that they want. Um, Somebody from a very elite school were going for an interview with Handshake AI, and the recruiter was very clear on the interview being behavioral, and 90% of the interview time was taken on product sense interview. So the formal answer is no, but the reality is very different than the formal technical answer. Mary, hope that helps. Uh, Yadu, I do see your question. Let me address a couple of other questions that I have, and I'll come to you because the question that you asked will take me 6 hours to answer. Arzu, if you are able to.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Arzu. There are 9 types of interviews to prepare as you target multiple adjacent roles. Do you think it's recommended and feasible to cover all three? What do you mean?
So we talked about three different roles, right? The TPM, AI operator, and traditional PM role. And there were different that kind of interviews that we talked about. So I think across all three, there were probably nine different kinds. So I wanted to know.
No, no. Behavioral is going to be same across all, and that's what I
Okay.
said. Even a developer, software development engineer will have behavioral is
Correct.
preparation is
Yeah.
exactly the same. So that definitely takes away two from your nine. For business strategy, yes, you will have to do two separate preparation. One preparation that is traditional software engineering principle based, and another that includes AI. Now, the point is, it's not really two separate preparation, Arzu. An AI based product will include every preparation that you're doing for a traditional product sense interview. So essentially, when you're prepping for the AI product sense, and I do like a 4 hour workshop to demonstrate exactly this, you have to do everything that you did for your traditional software product. And then there are components, consideration, KPIs, metrics that you need to add to that interview. So if you're preparing yourself as an AI operator, you're already preparing yourself for the traditional roles.
Gotcha. Thank you for sharing that. And other question I had was around sponsorship. I'm an immigrant on H-1B, so anytime I apply for roles, I've been hearing more, more so now than it used to that the companies are not sponsoring, especially for product roles.
That is not true anymore. Companies are not sponsoring, period, and companies are not hiring, period, is what the generic sense is. I'm an immigrant as well, currently not on H-1B, but I understand the pain point where you're coming from. So you're right. For certain companies, this is true, but not for product specific roles. For all roles, for companies who are not sponsoring for product roles, their already growth and hiring is on a steady state. For companies who are or will be exponentially hiring, they will continue to sponsor. So don't make that your adjudicating reason to not apply for product roles. That is going to be true even if you're going for TPM roles or AI operator roles. I understand what you're thinking, and 1 out of maybe 30 times you're going to be accurate. That 1 out of 30 company, 1 out of 30 offer letters, if you get, if the offer letter is AI operator, the company is willing to sponsor. If the offer letter is product manager, the company will not sponsor. That is going to be 1 out of 30 offer letter, Arzu. Don't make your decision based on that.
Okay. Yeah, that's gives me more hope for sure.
Yeah.
Are you also going to share a little bit about your program or other workshops that are
Yeah,
upcoming? 'Cause I'm
I'm a
interested.
very bad salesperson, Arzu. I'm not a hugger, but I could hug you right now. I appreciate it. A terrible salesperson. My upcoming, so when I said interview preparation, my next workshop is one vertical of that interview preparation, system design for AI. So that's what's coming up right now. But other than that, the two other areas, I also have workshops. So 15th of August is my next cohort for Product Sense. Exactly what I just talked to you about. Product Sense with AI that includes both traditional aspects of Product Sense through the goal, customer segmentation, pain point, and solutioning. Plus, what happens when you add AI? How does observability complicates things? What kind of KPIs become additive to it? So that is 15th of August. And in September, which is what this lightning lesson is connected to, there is going to be the system design related class. And much later in October, I'm going to start the behavioral side of things. So my workshops here are essentially interview prep. interview prep for AI system design, interview prep for AI business strategy, and interview prep for behavioral. So I have 1 day, single day workshop where I cover that. And I'll obviously in an email send you a lightning lesson promo code that will take 40% off that. But also you gave me like ability to talk about this, which clearly I'm very uncomfortable doing.
No, thank you so much for sharing. I'm looking forward to the upcoming sessions.
Thank you so much, Arzu. Thanks for your questions and best of luck. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. And my Substack is not monetized. Like I don't even have Stripe connected to my Substack. My Substack handle is AI, no fluff, where I make a point that 99% of everything that I am writing is completely about learning about AI, either from a product standpoint or technology standpoint. It doesn't tell a story. It doesn't talk about my personal experiences. It is about MCP or context engineering or whatnot. So feel free to follow me on Substack as well. All right. What else? I think Yadu, the succinct answer to your question. Yadu asked, sorry. You asked something regarding Bar Razor. Yadu, if you're still here, let me know. Are you going for Amazon interview? Yadu asked the question around how Bar Razor interview is different from other interviews at Amazon. It's not. A Bar Raiser is simply an interviewer who sits external to the hiring team. And the Bar Raiser has equal veto power as the hiring manager. The structure of the interview for you as the interviewee does not change at all. And for that matter, there is a 30-minute video on YouTube that I have exactly on this topic. But the Bar Raiser interview structure is exactly the same. It's behavioral question based on leadership principle and functional competencies. There is going to be 2 to 3 questions asked over a 60-minute period. For you, if you didn't know anything about Amazon or Bar Raiser, the Bar Raiser interview is going to feel exactly the same in terms of structure, look, and feel for you as the interviewee. Yadu, if you're still here, let me know if it made sense. Understand that you cannot come on audio. But to answer your question, Bar Raiser question, for you as an interviewee, the look and feel, nothing will change. The structure will not change. The level of adjudication, whether you need to give more gravitas or more KPI or less KPI, none of it. You treat it as the exact same interview. You need to show excellence. You need to show foundational skills. You need to show ability to handle complexity under pressure. Those are the same things that you will showcase in every round of your interview, including the hiring manager and the Bar Raiser interview. All right. If there are no other questions, I'm going to give you guys your time back. And by that, I mean I'm already 20 minutes over time. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm going to follow this up with an email that includes the slides as well as. Yes, Mehul, go ahead.
Sorry, I was thinking that you would have read my message there in the chat. I actually wanted to say that, see, these days everything is AI. You talk about anything, the JD is prepared by AI, the CV is prepared by AI, the CV is tuned by AI, the CV is, filtered by AI. Okay. And when the request comes, are you able to hear me? I hope
I
you
can
are.
hear you. I can hear you absolutely fine, Mehul. Go ahead.
Yeah, so what is happening is everything is there. So I feel that it is like AI companies where one company is investing and Nvidia is investing on another company, the same company is investing on something else. It's kind of circular reference. And also on top of this, when you send a CV, your AI ATS score, which is obviously again checked through AI tools and all those things. Now, question I have is, not many people, of course, I am also searching for a job and I am trying to transition from my agile delivery management into product kind of thing or a combination of both. Okay, something sort of that. I'm based out of UK. Okay, so I'm trying to do this, but we don't get any interview calls. I don't know why. And I tried to connect through LinkedIn, but I was told that LinkedIn is the last thing you should go to. You should not go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where, people just show it that yes, they want to kind of put it as an advertisement thing that I am keep on doing it. People are keep on posting the same post again and again, again and again. It comes as a promoted by hirer or something. I see many of the roles coming twice, thrice, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So trying to cut short all these things is what is the way out of this? I want to hear from you. What is the way out? Because everything is AI now.
Yeah, so there is in our industry for any question, if you ask me a question about my product or my technology, there is no silver bullet answer, and similarly, there is no easy or silver bullet answer to your question. I agree with the first part of what you said, Mehul, in terms of this chaos that everybody can go to ChatGPT and build a resume within 90 seconds that completely aligns, which is why for every role there are 7,000 perfect resumes. That is a pain point on both sides of the equation. And I understand for us job seekers, the pain is a lot more real. But I have seen hiring managers having to close down headcount because they have done 20 interviews for 20 candidates whose all of whose resume look perfect. When they do interviews, they are not at all close to the experience that they're looking for. What we have in our hands is chaos. It's not a scarcity, but a chaos. So the way out is not an easy one, but there are things that I disagree with you, and I can go on a rant for an hour here. Number one, not everything is an AI. When I work with, very nice to see you. Um, when I'm working with the government of Canada has eight verticals, 8 ways that they help women being empowered. And I am doing a boot camp for them for the technology vertical of things. And I started creating the boot camp on AI specific, and they were like, no, you don't understand. You have to go like far behind, like many layers before you are starting, because the basics, you don't understand where we are in terms of technology. So there are, if you are not located in New York, San Francisco, in your case, I do believe you that there is a lot of AI roles, but there are many companies. For example, I work closely with Ford in Michigan, who have not adopted AI. Forget about AI. In 2020, I was sitting in a Windows Insider conversation at Microsoft. Windows Insider is, there are 20 companies that are whitelisted for Microsoft. They are the insider. They do testing for us. They sign up for new features that we are building, which we are not sure about. So they get to come to the Microsoft campus for a week, and for 5 days, they get to shout at our face, scream about everything that we are doing wrong. And the Wells Fargo SVP went red in the face telling me, do not push sell cloud to me. I am going to only adopt cloud the amount that I have adopted, this 30%, rest of it is going to stay on-prem. The point that I'm trying to make is in 2020, if cloud was something, and Wells Fargo is not a mom and pop shop name, Walt Disney is not a mom and pop shop name. If they are not adopting cloud, the thought process through the echo chamber of LinkedIn that we have, that everything has already gone AI and every company has already fully adopted AI, that is complete misnomer. My own organization, which is a 30,000 people, like on an SVP level, 30,000 people organization, there are 10 people working on AI. None of the roles that you will see will have AI, nor internally much work is being some work, but not much is being done. And then there are parts of Amazon which are very, very AI focused, the parts of Microsoft which are extremely AI focused. But when you say everything is AI, I'm not going to be able to agree with you on that. The other part that I don't agree is don't go into LinkedIn at all. That's actually not true. It's about how you supplement your LinkedIn search strategy through the 2 ways that I mentioned. One way is cold calling. Cold calling doesn't mean that you write 3 paragraphs. You write 3 succinct
Just for
lines.
three, 4 lines.
Yeah, very succinct lines. That doesn't take you cognitive load. You are not changing those lines at all. They are very, very genuine. There is nothing fake in that, but shows you in the best light. That doesn't take up too much time for the reader. With those lines, cold calling is something that has worked with my candidates who have been really, really struggling for months and months, 6 months, 8 months. They didn't hear peep. And then now they are getting interviews. The second thing is notification mining. So notification mining is not high volume, but in your notification feeds page, every day you will get, and I don't even know what your background is, but every day I can still say you will get 1 or 2 roles that people are posting about hiring ETL product manager, hiring whatever finance program manager, whatever it is. It's not going to be high volume. You'll get 1 or 2. But the response rate, if you reached out to those people, is almost somewhere between 30 to 50%. So every 3 people that you reach out, one person will at the minimum respond back, and it will mature to an interview. There are other ways, other strategies, other avenues, but I'll
Well,
keep
actually,
it
I'm following
succinct.
this. I've been spending good amount of time, you can say almost 3 to 4 hours I'm spending on LinkedIn to look for this. And as soon as the post comes, I have connected with the recruiter also. They say, oh no, we already have sufficient number of CVs. We cannot take it anymore. Within 2 hours of the post coming in there.
Yeah.
Maybe it is second time coming or third time coming, I don't know, but I've tried to talk to them in person also. Anyway, having said that, tough market.
It's a chaotic market. It's not that nobody is hiring. See, every time this happens, when Wi-Fi came into the picture, I have been long enough in the industry and dated enough in the industry that I was there when mobile first era came into the picture. There's always a moment of chaos, a 2 year, 4 year period where we don't know which direction we are going, and that's where we are right now. It doesn't mean that hiring will not normalize and stabilize. And during these layoff periods, the folks who are getting laid off, I'll give you a very concrete example. During the last round of Facebook layoff, 5 of my friends got laid off. The very same day, they sat down in Facebook cafeteria and started their own company. Like by 5 p.m., they have formalized what their product direction is going to be. If this many smart people are getting laid off, there will be new companies cropping up. And a small percentage of these new company, 2% of these new companies will become the next Lyft, will become the next Uber, and will bring up the hiring. It's going to take 4 to 6 years for that to happen.
Thank you very much. Very, very, all the pointers which you have made in your presentation and to answer the people, it is very, well, I can connect very quickly. I don't know why, but I am from a place which is back in India, very close to West Bengal. So probably, yes.
Thank you so much for that, Mehul.
Thank you.
See, I didn't come from Yale or Stanford or Harvard like most of my ecosystem. If I'm able to still claw my way through Google and Amazon and Microsoft, it's because of being able to have empathy and understanding from the other person and be able to keep my narration in a way that it makes sense to the other person. So thank you for recognizing that. Mary, I absolutely do one-on-one coaching. In fact, it's my favorite thing to do. It's where I can give most value because when I do it in a class setting, as you can see, everybody has very different background. So very hard to provide value that in my heart feels like I've provided enough value. So one-on-one coaching is my favorite thing to do. If you drop me a note either on LinkedIn or on my email, you'll see an email from me any which way where I'll follow up with the next Maven course that is coming up and the Lightning Lesson promo code. But either way, either on LinkedIn or if you email me, we can talk about one-on-one coaching. All right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me twice the amount of time that I asked from you guys. I really appreciate all of you and best of luck in your job search journey. If there is any way that I can help support this journey, do let me know. Thank you so much and take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.